boys and girls. Today we're going to start lesson 1 of the next module, which is about fractions and decimals. So for today's objective, you're going to be able to divide a fraction by a whole number by using two methods. One of them using the area model, and the other method will be rewriting the division problem as a multiplication problem. So you're going to have to pay close attention because I'm going to demonstrate both methods for you, and then you will have to practice as well. So let's start by looking at column A. So I'm just going to zoom this in. We're going to write a division sentence to solve each problem. So take a look at number 1 of column A. 8 gallons of batter are poured equally into 4 bowls. How many gallons of batter in each bowl? So what would be a division sentence I could use to solve this problem? And hopefully you were able to determine that you would just simply do 8 divided by 4. Now, if you look at column B, number 1 states 1/4 of a gallon pail is poured out. How many gallons are poured out? The direction states write a multiplication sentence to solve each problem. So how could I write a multiplication sentence for this? Well, we could represent 1/4 as a fraction of an 8-gallon pail is poured out. So if you remember in 5th grade, we talked about the term up. We can replace with multiplication. So I'm going to rewrite this as 1/4 times 8/1. So if you take a look back to column A, 8 divided by 4, what does that equal? 2. Take a look at the other problem. Both problems are very much related. 1/4 times 8 is the same thing as 8/4, which is also 2. So notice we went from a division problem by rewriting 4 as 1/4 and multiplying. So that's kind of the why when we get into how come we can change division to multiplication. So let's take a look at your second page. We won't go over the others. I'm going to model 3 examples for you, so you'll just have to follow along. Example 1. 3/4 gallon of batter is poured equally into 2 bowls. How many gallons of batter are in each bowl? So, what would be your division number sentence? Let's start with that. So I think most of you would recognize that it would be 3/4 divided by 2. One way we could do this is by using an area model. So we're going to first model 3/4 by drawing a rectangle and dividing it into 4 parts. Since we're modeling 3/4, we should shade how many? 3. There's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Next, we need to model 3/4 divided by 2. So how do I suppose we could divide this by 2? So one way we could do this is, actually we want to do 3/4 divided by 2, so we're going to cut it in a horizontal direction and divide it into 2 parts. So now I have the top is 1 part and that's 2 parts. So when I shade this, we want to figure out 3/4 divided by 2 is what? Take a different color and shade in to show how much would be in each bowl. So we'll call the bottom 1 bowl and the top another bowl. Now, what fraction of the area model is overlapped? That is your solution. So if you take a look, your overlap is right here, where it's green and blue. We have 3 shaded out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 3/8. So 3/4 divided by 2 is 3/8. Okay, so that's the area model way. The other way is by rewriting it as a multiplication problem. Wouldn't you agree that I could look at this area model and see that interpret this as half of 3/4 is 3/8. So we could rewrite this by saying half of 3/4 is equal to 3/8. And the reason being is of is another term for multiplication. So both methods work. So let's take a look at example 2 now. Now, if you understand how to do example 1, go ahead and do exercises on the next page without having to watch my model. If you're still having trouble, take a look at example 2 with me. 3/4 pan of lasagna is shared equally by 6 friends. What fraction of the pan will each friend get? So let's start with your division number sentence. Would you agree that we're taking 3/4, sharing it with 6 people means we're going to divide it by 6. Now we're going to draw the area model. So we're going to draw a rectangle. What do you suppose we should start with? 3/4. So we're going to cut it into 4 parts. Since it's 3/4, we're going to shade 3. Now I want to divide by 6. So going in the opposite direction, which is horizontal, we're going to divide this model into 6 rows. Okay, so this is 1 row, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So since we want to know how much each friend will get, we'll just consider the one of the friends. Now, when I shade that amount, we're going to shade one of them. Now, the overlap, again, is your solution. So what fraction of the whole model is shaded both red and yellow? Well, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And 4 times 6 is 24. So we have 3 shaded out of 24. So 3/24 would be your solution. Okay, so that is the area model way. The other way is using multiplication. So now we can also consider this 1/6. So when I say 1/6 of 3/4 is what? We could get our solution that way by multiplying. 1 times 3 is 3. 6 times 4 is 24. Now we could simplify 3/24 by dividing both of them by 3. And we would get 1/8. Okay, so again, you can stop watching the video if you feel you understand, or you can continue with the last model I'm going to go over. A rope of length 2/5 meters is cut into 4 equal cords. What is the length of the cord? So again, start with your division number sentence. So we have 2/5. Oops, sorry about that. I lost my toolbar. There we go. So it is 2/5 divided by 4. Draw the area model. Model 2/5. So we're going to shade in 2. Now I want to divide that by 4 going in the opposite direction, the horizontal way. I want to figure out how much would be in each one. So I would shade in 1 row. Now my overlap is my solution, which is 2 out of 20. Okay, or we could write this as a multiplication sentence. This could also be looked at as 1/4. So 1/4 of 2/5, which means to multiply, so we do 2/20. Now always look to simplify. 2/20 is also equal to 1/10. Well, I hope the video was able to help you with the exercises coming up. Now you may go ahead and work on the exercises on your own. Thank you very much.